but society massively favors the morning person. And there's not a lot you can do about which kind of person you are in terms of when you naturally want to go to sleep and when you naturally want to wake up. Hello and welcome back to One Brain at a Time. Here's your weekly neuroscience fix. I'm trying to change the tagline up a little bit, keep it fresh. I'm Adam Wright, your host, and I'm joined as always by the wonderful co-host, Mr. Andy Feist. How are you, Andy, today?
I'm very well, mate. It's Friday, so we
Friday.
got that Friday feeling back, man, and I like it. I do. I feel so much better on a Friday than I do a Monday, and I can't explain it. If
You
only there was
can.
some neuroscience geezer that could help me out.
Well, yeah, we'll try and get him on the next episode.
Yeah, yeah. No, man. So yeah, Friday's here. I feel good. It's been a quieter week for us, but still had lots going on, which has been pleasant. I don't know, man. Just thinking like me and the missus gonna book a holiday this weekend,
I was
hopefully,
going to
and
say Valentine's Day tomorrow. The
yeah.
listeners will have happened. Hope you had a nice one. But what are your
It will.
plans?
That is our Valentine's Day treat because it's just a holiday invented by Card Factory, so we're not going to bother doing much. But oh, what a cynic! Yes, I am. I
It's
am
not
what, mate?
real. It's not real holiday.
Um, so we're going to go and book a holiday. We're going to go to Greece, I think, which would be nice. So I just
Ooh,
want to get that book,
hello.
man, because we was talking about it for for saying how long we've been talking about it. So I'd just like us to just book it, man, and stop
Like
saying we're going to
mainland, or
do
are
it
we
with this
talking
thing.
island?
I think we're going to do like roads. So is that mainland?
I think so.
I think it is.
Any.
We're basically looking
Nice.
at Crete and roads, but we done
Ah,
Crete
okay,
last
yeah, yeah.
April, so I don't really want to do it again. But we just basically want a week in the sun in it
Crete's
and just
where Zeus is from, isn't it? I went to Crete a long time ago now, but I think that's
beautiful, man.
where Zeus was from. I
Yeah,
think
man.
he
It's got like
lives
the
in
Palace
Crete.
of Knossos, which
Yeah,
is like one of the most historical sites going.
yeah,
Home
exactly.
team. Yeah, man. So yeah, no. So that's what we're doing, mate. But I think we're gonna maybe go out for a bit of grub. Who knows, mate? We ain't booked nothing, so we'll be booked up. So
Yeah,
that's always
that's
fun.
always that's always the problem on Valentine's Day. I'm quite glad I have nothing on
For sure.
Valentine's
Yeah.
Day this year because it's a Saturday, so it'd be even more unlikely you'd get anything kind of booked in. So,
It is a bit
um,
sickening, isn't it? It
yeah.
is a bit sickening Valentine's Day. I don't know how everyone feels about it, but yeah, man. I think, you always get like M&S section that's
Oh
just
my God, it's like
obnoxiously.
show your. And I don't know if you've seen this is free advertising for Asda, but other supermarkets are available and maybe better depending on your opinion. But you can take these
Unless
like
you want to
red.
sponsor us, Asda, and then we'll just
Oh, as
denigrate all of the others, man.
exactly. There's an Asda like a half an hour walk away. If you pay me, I will walk to it every time. But you can pick up when you go in. Obviously, you've got the baskets. You can take a red one, and that's like your single and ready to mingle. So
Who
if
on God's
you
green earth is mingling in an Asda?
exactly what I'm thinking. But if any listeners to this podcast are mingling in Asdas, I would like to know. Please get in contact. That is so cool. And final bit of admin I want to get out of the way before we dive into today's episode is that we are now an anti-football podcast. It's a
Oh,
terrible sport. We've always said it. Um, is it to do with the fact that both of our teams might be getting relegated? Potentially, but not that at all. It's definitely that football just sucks,
my life.
and it's a terrible sport, and I've always said that. So yeah, cool. Okay.
So upset about it. I won't even lie to you. Just proper, just miserable about the whole situation.
Oh, it's all
Yeah,
fun and games
it's
until
horrible.
you're at 17th
Oh,
or wherever I am right now, 15th, I think.
I
Yeah.
think you are like 3 points ahead of us.
Ah, we're fine then.
Yeah, we're 16th.
Well, we've both got one guaranteed point against each other in like
Yeah,
whenever we play next month. So
yeah. Can we do that? Just agree so we all get a point.
please, everyone gets a point.
Yeah, man. So yeah. I don't know what to say. Our gaffer's no longer our gaffer, and
Former gaffer.
yeah, it's all over the place, mate. All over the place. But I'm trying my best, and that's one of my resolutions was to
Mm.
care less.
How's that going?
Because it's proper, yeah, badly. Because it is, man. It is. You footy fans out there that listen, man. Like you feel it. You feel it. It's. Oh my god. And my brother will always message being like, well, we're done, aren't we? We're rubbish. And I'm like, Jim, man, I'm trying to forget about it. And
Yeah.
every time I hear from you, when you pester me with how bad we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, I confess I do the same to you. Whenever we watch
You
a
do,
Spurs
actually. That's a
game,
good point.
I do text you and go,
That's
well.
a good point. I don't know if you
Um,
noticed, Adam. I do normally leave it until the next
you
day when I've
do.
calmed down a bit.
I do notice that you normally quite a good replier, but not when it's football. You just absolutely air me. Which, I get it. I get it. I just,
I can't deal with it.
we're both miserable. We've got to both appreciate the misery we're both
That's
currently in,
true.
but,
That's true. I should confide in you instead of rejecting your
exactly.
outreach.
Yeah, exactly. But yes.
But yeah, man, all good, bro.
We wanted to also start a new segment, which Andy has concocted a sting for, which I'm now going to pass over to him to sing for us.
I haven't, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to freestyle it. All right.
Go on then,
You ready?
go
I'm
on.
going to get all nice and close to
Ooh,
the
hello. I'm
mic.
excited for this.
Comments corner, yeah. Is that good?
Sensational. Absolutely no notes. Fantastic stuff. Yes, just gonna let the audience enjoy that.
Sit
They
in
need a
that.
minute. They need a
I
minute.
need to sit in that and reflect.
I was gonna add music, but I don't think I am. I'm just gonna leave it exactly
You're
as
so
it is.
beautifully harmonized, mate. I don't think you need to.
But yes, okay. So comment corner. We would like to get, we are. It's a conversation between me and Andy in the room, or in the virtual room, I guess. But we also want to get you guys involved. So people who are listening, if you've got a question, a comment, a thought about anything we talk about, or anything you'd like us to talk about, we would like you to get involved. So if that's through the YouTube comments, if that's through the Instagram comments or the DMs, or you can always email us at the email address on the screen right now, or adamwright@aypuk.com. Yes, please get in touch because we want to hear from you. And we got a comment a few weeks ago from a Mr. at Smartaros1818, which is
We
obviously.
want it to go from comment corner because there's only one to comments corner, please,
Yes, please.
people.
And then Andy will have to come up with a new sting.
Yeah, yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
beautiful. Um,
Yeah.
but yes, we got a comment about on our, a little while ago, we did an episode on Blue Monday and the idea of talking about emergence, which is the idea your body and brain project your mind, that because of the lack of sunlight, the often horrible weather, which has been particularly relevant this year, that we likely feel low in January, even if nothing's materially changed in our lives, or everything's kind of going forward as it was. But the idea that our body and brain are getting less sunlight project means that we project a less positive mind, which means we are normally feeling low. So Smartars 1818, as in 8018.
Maybe we shouldn't do this section.
Struggling with my pronunciation of names here. But just commented, I don't understand why we have not evolved to work with the planet and season better. And I thought it was an interesting comment because I would argue that we have evolved really well to develop with the planet and the seasons. As a human species, that's exactly what we do.
Do not alienate the one geezer that has commented on our post, Adam, right? Do not start cussing him.
Poor guy, poor guy. But what I do think is the case is that there is a lot of truth in the fact that the post-industrial world we live in, with work hours and all this stuff, does not work really well with our natural circadian rhythms, with the seasons as well. Even things as simple as sleep cycles and stuff. Like we'll do a whole episode on sleep in the future, but very, very basically, people have a type of sleep. Some people get up really early in the morning. Some people go to bed late at night. Most of us are kind of in between, where we lean one way, but are not radically up super early and going to sleep super late. But society massively favors the morning person. And there's not a lot you can do about which kind of person you are in terms of when you naturally want to go to sleep and when you naturally want to wake up. And the evolutionary reason for this is because if you think about it, when we're in small tribes, if someone goes to bed later, then they stay up later to protect the people that are sleeping. And someone wakes up earlier, they're awake by the time the person who goes to bed later has gone to bed, so they can protect them. So it meant that we were more likely to survive the saber-toothed tiger that was hunting around in the night, because as a whole, obviously when you're sleeping, you're quite vulnerable to predators. So as little tribes and little societies, we were protected by the fact that people went to sleep at different times. So it's kind of
That's
hardwired into us
interesting.
that we all
Yeah.
sleep at different times. So as natural human beings, I do think we obviously evolve with the seasons as they have been throughout human history. But the thing that doesn't necessarily conform to the seasons and our evolution is aspects of society.
I think it just When I speak to my dad, right, he's he's 50. Sorry, how old is he? 57. I think he's 57, and he's worked his whole life. He's been a teacher, deputy head man. He's done very well for himself, right? But he works 3 days a week now, which is very nice. He's deserved that. But he will always moan about getting up early, 6 o'clock
Yeah.
on the road by 6:30. He will cuss it out, right? Like properly. And he said, I've in my 30 plus year career, I've hated that every single like hated it, man. Like not even like a little dislike. He's
Yeah.
actually, you know, cursing the mornings, man. So I just think it shows that you can still, once he's there and he gets into the rhythm of things, like they had a thing that they would just say, don't go and speak to him until 8:30, 9 in the
Yeah.
morning because he's a write-off. Like, and I feel that, man. Like, if you're not a morning person, those mornings are really challenging and really tough. And specifically what this geezer was commenting about, right? Like, if you're not that and you have to get up, God knows what time to get to work early, it's dark, it's wet, you are not going to be feeling great.
Mm.
So it's really important that you understand that and you just go, all right. Sometimes you just have to make do with what's
Yeah.
what's in front of you, innit? And if you're going to be someone that struggles with that, well, how are you going to give yourself what coping strategies and mechanisms are you going to use? Like, for example, I'm not a morning person. And well, I know that I need to get up a little bit earlier so I don't have to rush around. Yeah, it's simple as, right? I just get up 5 or 10 minutes earlier than I really need to, so I can have a cup of coffee and get ready slowly because I ain't gonna be Hail Mary because I can't do that in the morning. My brother, he goes, no, sickening geezer that he is. He goes for the gym in the morning and he loves that, and that's his way of getting up. My partner's stepdad, he does the same. So people find their ways of integrating themselves into the day ahead, and you just got to find yours. And I feel it, man. When it's wet, dark, and cold, it is turgid, and especially like at the moment, we've been speaking about the horrible weather since October, and it's, the middle of February. So I just think. Yeah, what you say is so interesting about that. Different tribal folks would have had to sleep different times for safety and security and all those things. So I think, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Right? Because some people like staying up late, getting up late. Some people like going bed early, getting up early. And I just think you probably will fall into one of those camps. And tough for you lot that aren't morning people. I put myself in that because, like you said, society's not kind to people that aren't morning people, man, because the mornings when we got to get up and get to work. So, and school, even you lot, if you're listening, you're in secondary or primary, like you got to get up for school, and that can be a real battle and a real challenge sometimes. So you're right.
But what you've also said there is exactly right. And like at the moment, yeah, I think that there's some workplaces now do like more positive hours where it's kind of like you do the hours that you need to do, like 8 or a day or whatever it is, and
Sure,
then
that seems to be quite like
and yeah.
quite growing that.
Yeah, I know more and more people that are in jobs where it's like, okay, just get these tasks done in your 8 hour day and that's
For
fine, do it
sure.
whenever you want. And obviously that's far more flexible for people who want to wake up at 10 but then don't go to bed till 1 a.m. That's perfectly natural. If you are some, I'm lucky enough to be, I'm probably in the average, but slightly leaning towards morning. Like I can deal with the morning fine, but I'm also not an extreme morning person. Like my dad is like up at 5 a.m. every day.
For
Like
sure.
I'm not like that, but I can get up at 7 comfortably and I can be quite functional
Well,
by
you've
8,
been for a walk
7:30.
this morning. We had a meeting this morning, and
Yeah.
you'd already been for a walk, hadn't you?
I'd have
So
been to walk for a walk and the gym. Like I've just been like, and that's just how I naturally. I'm a bit more like your brother. It sounds like. But if you're not like that,
And what am I like, Adam? When we used to carpool together, mate? What am I like in the morning? It's like chatting to a piece of lead paint, man. It's disgusting.
and he just
Oh,
like to have a nap. Bless him. It was quite.
I do,
I
man.
take it as a compliment that my driving is so relaxing that you can fall asleep in it. So that's
Now,
what I'm taking it as.
for whatever reason, right? Adam moved to Hove, and I got to drive myself now, which is fine, right? But it's not the smooth trip of the old Mini
Yeah,
electric.
it doesn't.
My motor is not the same. It does not have the same level of calmness.
What can I say? What can I say?
And I can't
Um,
sleep while I'm driving, can I? You know what I mean?
yeah, that would be bad.
That wouldn't be great.
That'd be very bad.
And your
But
excuse to the officer is, "I'm not a morning person, mate." Yeah,
I don't know how that would work. Yeah, sorry, sir. I've just I've derailed a lorry, but it is 6 a.m. and
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
a
yeah.
morning person.
Slack, man.
But sleep deprivation is one of the leading causes of accidents in car crashes and car
Yeah,
collisions and stuff like that. So, and part of that is people not getting enough sleep because of, we'll do an episode on sleep. Fear not, because sleep is something people are really interested in. But what you've said there is you've got to deal with the world as it is and your situation as it is in the best way you can. So if you are
yeah,
a night person or an owl, as it's kind of commonly referred to, do exactly what you said. Like give yourself more time in the mornings and potentially like if you've got work the next day, pack your stuff, get your clothes out, do all of that the night before when you are productive, so that in the morning you can just autopilot, get
oh,
dressed, go
you're
out
not.
the
Yeah, yeah,
door,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not having to consciously think about things, understanding that your brain is not going to be firing on all cylinders until the
Yeah,
early afternoon. So
yeah.
just give yourself that, it's about understanding yourself and developing your own coping mechanisms to deal with yourself and your own life and your own situation and experience.
Yeah, too right. And it sort of hit me recently over the past, I don't know, man, before Christmas and in the late stages of 2025, I was getting up for 4:15 in the morning, driving a few hours to get to where I
Mm.
needed to meet Adam and then drive on to where we were going. And we did that right. I don't know, what was that, about 2 months maybe of that?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
2 months and a bit. And it just made me think like, oh my word, people do this all the time.
yeah.
My pal, he's a butcher and he gets up stupid o'clock every day. And I just think, oh my word! No wonder you want to be in bed by 8 because you've been up since like it's middle of the night stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was getting up at 3:30, 3 in the morning, getting ready, and then hoofing it across the country. So I do feel for people like that. So if you aren't someone that's naturally wired and inclined that way,
Mm.
I can see how that is such a detriment to your well-being and your livelihood because it's necessity, right? I didn't do it out of choice necessarily, right? You have to do those things. My
Yes.
mate, but he has to do that to get up for the morning deliveries. You have to do these things. So that is adversity unavoidable. Let's call it, man. That's an
Yeah.
unavoidable adversity. So you do owe it to yourself to try and find workarounds. And if your workarounds are going to be whatever it is it's going to be, then I don't think just sitting on it and being like, this is life and accepting the way you feel about it. I think you're going to feel tired and stressed maybe, but you can challenge it to some extent, right? You don't have to let it completely
For
derail your
sure.
existence, which it does for some
Exactly.
people.
It does, yeah. I think that's such a good point, and I think that I think maybe your listener is questioning right now because we always talk about how you can rewire your brain. That's the kind of the fundamental thing the whole podcast is talking about. Is how you can
Yeah,
change your experiences and your feelings. There are some things though in your brain that are like let's say hardwired, and like for example, your brain, and this is back to emergence, but we'll come to that in a second. Your brain is currently controlling your heartbeat, your breathing. You're not manually controlling that stuff. You as a mind projected by a body and brain do not have the ability to rewire your heart firing neurons, obviously, because that would be awfully detrimental to your ability to stay alive. And your kind of sleep, I don't know if the term would be chronotype, but your when you naturally are going to fall asleep is one of these things that is hardwired, or at least we currently think is hardwired. But as you say, you can do things to practice and develop it and adjust to it. And one of the main things with sleep is trying to go to bed at the same time every day and then wake up at the same time every single day. And for a night person, that might be really difficult. But the
yeah,
routine of going to sleep earlier than you would want to can form the habit of going to sleep, which can mean that you end up sleeping better. Because again, we'll go into sleep in a future episode, but there are different types of sleep, kind of depths of sleep, and different processes happen in the brain. Sleep is an incredible process from the brain. It's like if a rock of well-being, it's like one of the most fundamental. Um,
yeah.
so
It is.
it's really important that it's not just that you are sleeping, it's also the depth and quality of your sleep, and creating a habit of going to sleep at the same time is a really, really profound way of kind of trying to match and manage that really difficult, if we are a night person, but we need to wake up early. Okay, well, I need to then commit to doing it all the time, because what happens is what can be worse is, you know, you're, let's say, going to bed and getting 6 hours of sleep 5 nights a week, and then on the weekends you're going to bed later. You're not able to build and form that really consistent habit of sleep, which means that your sleep is going to be quite inconsistent, and especially 6 hours is not enough sleep. You need to be getting more than that ideally. So, it sounds weird, but people should be, apart from on special occasions where sometimes people are up late anyway, we should be going to bed at roughly the same time and waking up at roughly the same time every single day and building that habit because that is quite a profound formation of our sleep, which is such an important rock for being.
I use my mate as an example again, right? This butcher fella, right? He will get up stupidly early, work stupidly long hours, and because of that, because he is an emergent property of what he's doing to his body, he has a general, I would say, quite a low mood and grumpiness and tiredness and but because he's been doing it for 5, 6, 7 years, right? He's fallen into the trap of just accepting that, right? He's just like, that is my life, all right? And don't, he's a grafter, man, proper hustler.
Yeah.
And I just think, oh man, like he's the life and soul. You see him, he's the funniest geezer, man. He's proper good time. But I just feel like I'm just saying this because it shows us, right, that you become used to feeling a certain way. He's become
Yeah.
comfortable. Like my life is that cycle of getting up stupid early, working stupidly long hours, get home, eat dinner, look after the dog, go to bed. And you do that 6 days a week, bang, bang, bang. So, and he's just like, well, that's just my life, man. I can't get out. Like, that's just what I need to do, right? And it's like, okay, fine, but you are being detrimentally affected mentally because of it, and he is, right. I think he will probably be the first to admit it a few months back when things were pretty tough and dire for him. And I just think, like, all right, man, let's talk and let's think about how we can support you in any way we can, really, mate, because that work-life balance didn't exist for him, and he has made changes since, right?
Yeah.
He's left his business, he ran, and he's doing his own thing now, which is wonderful, and he's got a much healthier balance because of it. So it will come to a saturation point where you're just like, no, this is, I'm actually running myself into the ground here because I think I should be doing something when actually I can still make a good living, adjusting that routine and that schedule,
For
and just
sure.
in the way I feel, you know. So I just think it's important to like remember for those that are listening that are those people that are grafting in a way that is relentless and no let up, and you're feeling negative because of it, but you're comfortable with that because you felt like that for years,
Yeah.
you still have the capacity to change that.
Exactly. And I think that is the kind of takeaway from the whole thing is like the world we live in the moment, especially, we're talking in a, always feel like it's worth saying that we're talking in the United Kingdom, like we're talking in a Western quote unquote democracy.
Yes.
Like our experience of life in this country is not the same as people's experience across the world uniformly, but talking in a general Western, United States, Europe, that kind of
Yeah.
sense, this is a pretty universal experience of, but like the societies we live in are not tailored necessarily to our natural rhythms, our natural biorhythms, and lots of parts of society are trying to attack natural well-being processes. Like one of the most key examples I would say is like Netflix is, I think the CEO once said, and I will fact check this, because I don't want to be spreading this information, but he said, my main competitor is sleep. And it's about trying to keep people up and watching Netflix, which is why
But
as soon as you
BBC
finish an
verify,
episode,
yeah.
BBC verify that.
BBC
Um,
verify.
yeah, please do fact check me as I go. But it's the
Keep
idea
going,
that
I'm gonna do
we're
it.
constantly battling against natural processes to try and keep us awake, alert, potentially buying things. I'm not trying to sound too cynical in a kind of late stage capitalism that we are in, but the idea that you're trying to be kept awake so that you can watch more content so that they can make money from it is, you could bring that argument to social media as well, and I think that is a fundamental part of it. So we have not evolved, and this is what we always say about our brains. We have a caveman's
Oh.
brain in a 21st century body. Is that correct? Was I right?
Reed Hastings, you got an enemy, mate. Reed Hastings, you got an enemy, pal. How about that? This small time podcast coming for you.
Yeah, let's go for him. Let's take him
Um,
down.
former Netflix CEO. So I don't know what
Okay.
the geezer's doing now. Hopefully, just responding to angry podcasters.
Get in touch.
Former Netflix CEO Reed Hastings, bear with me, gang, I'm getting there. Reed Hastings famously stated in 2017 that sleep is their biggest competitor, not other streaming platforms. He explained that because viewers often sacrifice rest to watch just one more episode, the primary competition for screen time is the fundamental human need for sleep,
Wow.
which Netflix aimed to win.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
I mean,
some you're going to
what can
win,
I
big
say?
man.
We are a fact-based podcast. What can I
We are, we
say?
are.
We get it right. But that is crazy, isn't it? Isn't that nuts? That
The fact
like
that it's so sinister at the end is like, we aim to win.
we
What are you
aim to
winning?
beat your
What?
sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what lunacy.
It's crazy. So, like, we have not evolved to work in this type of environment. We have not evolved to live in this century because evolution takes a lot longer than the time that this kind of world has existed. Obviously, like, we have a caveman's brain in a 21st century body. Our brain is not evolved for the world we live in. Doesn't mean we can't adapt to it because our brain is incredibly adaptable. That's the whole point. But we need to understand ourselves and our own brains and our own environment and our own experiences to be able to manage our experience of the world in that more productive way. Even when the world, in some ways, is trying to trick us and take us down paths that are not going to help our well-being in those ways. So, like, that Netflix thing of watch one more episode is what it's trying to do. It's trying to keep you on Netflix so it can sell people more ads and get more money from you and all that stuff. And that's because that's their business model, and that is very cynical, but that is part of the game. And obviously,
I just had a surge of absolute rage coursing through my veins, and
go
I'll
on.
tell you why, right? So I don't know if anyone's heard of this geezer. I'm not going to name him because I think it's not worth my breath. But he basically has come out and said that he wants to get rid of working from home, right? And he wants everyone, no one's productive when they work from home. We'll get everyone back in the offices where they're more productive, right? And I just think everyone listening, all right, for the four of you that do listen, thank you for
Still
staying.
four, is it? It's still four. It's not
Still
gone up.
four. Um, do
We
not let
lost the
these
Netflix
hedge,
CEO.
do
He's,
not
he's
let
out.
these hedge fund geezers who have 15, 20, 25 weeks holiday a year tell you that working from home is not very productive. Don't let these absolute buffoons tell you that, man, because I just think it. Why are you saying that, mate? Like what he knows nothing. That geezer, he literally knows nothing.
No, I mean, I think that's exactly right, and that is part of it. Is like, I think that we can't go into all the battles of like whether work from home is more productive, but the research shows that happier workers are more productive in whatever company it is, giving people that
It's no
flexibility
coincidence that
to do their
these
stuff.
4 day weeks that they've trialed over in Scandinavia and places like that these 4 day weeks that evidence suggests that 4 day weeks increases productivity substantially, right? You can fit and ask anyone that works 5 day weeks, yeah, they will tell you probably. I don't want to generalize and put words in people's mouths, so apologies for doing that, but people will probably tell you that you reckon you could squeeze 5 days worth of work into 4 days. You make those days more productive because you're getting more time back for the things in life
Mm,
that we aspire to do. You get time back to see your family more, see your pals, more time, energy to do that. 2 day weekend, Saturday, you're pretty dead from the weekend still, and you feel like you need to do something. Sunday, you're worried about the Monday.
yep,
It's stupid.
yep, yep. So, yeah, look at us. Let's start a little revolution in our little podcast. Look at us go. Look at us go. But yeah, so. Uh, I think we I think I've wrung out
Let's
my
leave it on
my
that.
level of yeah. I think that's good. I think that's good exactly. And it's like
I just think this isn't going to be your most when you listen. This ain't the most focused of podcasts that we've done, but I
what do you
just think
mean?
yeah, it's just important just to have sometimes, and I feel like this is something I wanted to just bring into the podcast more, which is just that sort of anarchy. No, it's just having a chat about things, man, and just what's on our
Yeah,
mind and things that have come up in our weeks that have made us want to talk about this stuff
for
and try
sure.
and give you that sort of neuroscience spin on it. So we, as always, we appreciate you lot and. Hopefully it's more than four. I haven't seen the stats in a while, but we're creeping up to 100 subscribers, which is
Yeah,
quite
please
cool.
subscribe. I want to hit that
Yeah,
big three dig.
for
And we're trying to
sure.
work
And that
out.
feels, we don't want this to, we're very realistic about this podcast, man. And we absolutely adore doing it, to be honest. And if
You
it's
said we're very
helping,
realistic about it, but you said we're going to be challenging Stephen Bartlett by the end of the year. So
I meant what I said. Um, why would you cuss me out in front of all our
I
listeners, man?
just want to just because there's going to be someone who's be like, by the way, mate, you said this, and I'm just protecting you from that. Just
Thank you. It's very kind. No, man, but I've always said this, and Adam and I agree. Like, if we can just help a few people, if a few people are getting the benefit of listening to us ramble every week, man, then that's good enough for me. So we really do appreciate you guys spending time listening. So thank you for that. And
Yes, thank you very much. And and obviously this episode was all generated from someone's comment. So if you have thoughts on what we've discussed
yeah,
today, please email them in, comment on the the YouTube or get in contact. Email address again, it's in the description, it's on the screen right now, but it's also adam@aypuk.com. But also if you want to send another question in to kind of start another conversation, and that's what we really want to start doing is opening up a conversation, because there's two white men talking about brains. Let's open the conversation up to the four audience members that we have, and please, let's get chatting all together, and we can hopefully go to some interesting places and discuss some more interesting things than we can come up with in before these recordings. So thanks for listening, and yeah, reach out and help us get to that big 100 subscribers, and then
Yeah.
I don't think we get a play button for 100, but I'm on the way. I think it's 1,000 we get a play button for. So
Do
let's
you
get to that
really?
number. I think it's 1,000, isn't it? Bronze. Then it's
That's only 10.
10,000 is silver, and then it's diamond for 1,000,000. I think.
We're getting
I
there.
don't know.
2028. Watch out for 2028. Let me tell you.
Exactly right. You're too right. Yes, thanks for listening, and we will see
Cheers,
you
guys.
all next week.
See ya.